What up, fam? Welcome back to the channel. This your boy Jay to the Aura. So somebody asked me in the comments, do I have any videos of how I mix beats? Well, I probably do, but I got a lot of it, so I don't know where they are. So in response to that, what we are going to do today is, guess what? We are going to mix a beat. Hey, that's what we're going to do. We're going to mix the beat. But let me fix this. Let's get this like this. Boom. Now we got more screens. All right, so let's dive right into it. So first thing I'm going to do is put together a little quick beat. Let's find a loop. Let's use that one. The tempo is 130. Let's go with that. Ooh, I like that. So we're going to take that, cut all of that out, and use that loop. Let's bring this one on down. Yeah, I'm gonna do this beat real quick so I can show what I'm talking about. We're gonna do that right there. And chop that off right there. What else can I use? We'll just use those two loops right there for the sake of this video. So now we got a loop going. We're gonna make that first. Oh shit. First thing that you need to do in that situation, you heard the pop, because this is all a part of mixing it too. We're gonna crossfade that. We are going to crossfade that. Create crossfade. Oh, cut it right out. Now let's see if this one, maybe a little bit of that. Yep, let's get rid of that. So I always create a crossfade on my loop so we can get it to 0. All right, so we got that done. Loops are okay, ready to go. Now let's put some drums in here. Let's see here. Hi-hats. We'll use that for the hi-hat. Let's use that one. I always do that one. We're going in case I want to kick. Oh, they're so loud. So now we got the basic drums in here. And I'm doing this all, I'm not playing anything today. I am doing it all with my mouse. So we got that. So now all I'm doing is just drawing my MIDI out. Got that one kind of wrong, but we can push it back. All right, now let's get the hi-hat going. If you're in PreSonus, the easiest way to do the hi-hat is just draw one bar, then come back, depending on how you got your quantization, and just cut it up. We're on double time, so I'm just cutting it once, like a and it's gonna sound like that. Perfect. Now let's come on down to the clap. Clap is gonna always be on 3. We just got one bar. So boom. Now let's come up to the kick. We got that going. Now this is the tricky part. Now this loop is in F minor, so let's come over here. F minor, and I just want to see those keys because that's going to help me get this 808 where it needs to be. the second bar. So we'll just draw that out. For the rest of them, how about that? Now let's listen to it. Boom, we got that going. Now what you want to do, if you want to make it sound a little bit better while you're still mixing it, is we all in the red over here. So that's this point. We just gonna, what am I doing? We're gonna highlight everything and just bring it down. That's a good thing about PreSonus. You ain't got to group nothing. Just highlight all the tracks by hitting the first one, Control, and select them all. Then you want to unselect them to unhighlight them. We're gonna highlight them back because we want to bring this up to about a -6, and you're gonna see why we're doing that a little later. Let's start with the key. We're just trying to make it sound a little better while we work this out. So now we got the drums highlighted, then we got that highlighted. Now let's take the mixer off. We're just working in the edit screen because we're trying to get a whole beat together. So here's what we're gonna do. Now in this loop, we know we're gonna say this is the chorus loop, chorus male, and we'll use this as the verse male. Male means melody. Excuse me, I don't know where that came from. So right now we're gonna mute the melody, for the verse, but we still are gonna copy it on out the track, and you're gonna see why. So we got that on out. Now what I like to do, let's go to 81, change my time base. We at 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Let's change it back. Songs nowadays ain't but about time base about 3 minutes tops. So we'll go on out to 89. That should be okay. We'll figure it out more when we actually start tracking it out, which is what we're fixing to do now. But here's what you can do before you even start to do that. Now it's when you want to kind of get the mix going. What do I mean by that? So first thing I want to do is bring my melody tracks. Going to highlight them. Let's bring them down. I like my drums up top. Let's get some organization in. Your 808 going to be first, kick second, hi-hat, clap. Chorus. I usually like to put the chorus second because what am I saying? I usually like to put the chorus after the verse loop, and we'll see why. So now this is where the creativity kind of come in. You got the verse loop. We fixing to do the intro, and you got the melody loop. So what we're gonna do before we do any of that is kind of get a rough mix going. So what I do is you're going to mute one of these out, but since they are both technically recorded at the same volume, at the same loop, what you want to do now is group these, and you'll see why. You're going to save yourself some time. But at the same time, now we're going to group all of these and bring them all the way down, just like that. Now we ungroup them, but those two are still grouped. That's how that works. Now what we want to do first is get the volume right on the track. This is where the mixing comes in. So I like to get everything hitting at a -6 dBs for the most part, around that area. We'll start with the kick, the 808, because that's where the fun begins. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's hitting around -6. Then we'll do the kick the same way. Now the hi-hat is a little different because if you do it at a -6, you're gonna be high. It's gonna be loud. See? So the hi-hat I drop down another 6 dBs and do that at 12. See, don't that sound better? And then the snare, we're gonna go back up to 6 because I like the snares to pop. Now you got a pretty decent mix. Now you want to go ahead and pan your hi-hat. These are just typical standard mixing tactics. Pan that hi-hat to the side, because really, if you're listening to a drum set, it's gonna be panned to the side. Alright, now we fix the mess with these melodies. We are going to mute. Well, we can't really mute them. Then we're going to, yeah, what I said ain't gonna work. But it's gonna get us in the general area. So now we're gonna bring these melody loops up. Now on those, when I got loops, I don't want you to nowhere near as loud as the drums. So I normally bring those up to a volume of -12. That way it's gonna sit just right. Coming to your main mixer, still a little bit over. So then you want to bring that down, sit at around -16. That's leaving yourself a whole lot of headroom. At this point, you may have to turn your headphones up a little bit. Now let's bring up the melody a little bit. Now let's dissolve this group because now we're going to play with each one. Let's see what the chorus sound like just by itself. You're going to have to do some more adjusting. We ain't done. Now let's come over here to the verse. Now the verse loop, you're normally going to want to bring it up a little bit above what you did the chorus. The main reason is because the chorus is going to have more instruments in it, which is going to make it louder. But the verse, there should be some instruments drop down. Same thing is when you when you playing as well. So now it's time for Now at this point, you got your level set. Now you want to listen to it to see if there's anything you want to do as far as like reverb. You want to add some reverb, you can do that. If you want to add some compression somewhere on your kick drums, I normally leave all of that stuff raw. Why do I leave it raw? Because if you're selling this beat to somebody and you tracking it out, the who's ever mixing the song, they'll do all of that. I mean, you can do it. You can have like a rough mix or whatever, just so if you want to upload it to YouTube or do like everybody else, just don't use no effects and just unless it's really required, and just add a compressor. Now what you can do on your kick, let's find a little EQ to make sure that they're not fighting each other. What I like to do is cut a little bit off the ass. On the kick. And then you can do the same with the top. It just kind of cleans it up a little bit. Can you dig it? Undo that. See if it changed it. Now I'm looking to make sure everything's going in the red. It's not going in the red. Notice how the kick went up some. So let's bring that back down to -6. Now you also want to pay attention to, in case you want to drop the 808 out, you want to make sure that kick is loud enough to hold its own. Otherwise, you're going to have to use automation to bring it up to where it can take over the overall low end. We'll leave that like that. Now let's go ahead and start removing stuff. So we got the chorus, we got the verse. First thing we're going to do is take out the 808. We're going to do it like take out some hi-hats. So we made the chorus 4 bars, so to speak. Let's do 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now it's just pure magic. And then we got, that's one verse, that's 2 verse. You got the chorus. Let's do the chorus the second time. And then at that point, let's just drop it out and then bring it back in and call it a day. I just randomly took them out and let's see what it sounds like. That's the perfect ending. Now, we ain't finished though. Let's do some dropouts on the end of the verse. So we're going to take, we didn't have to do that for that, but let's do that. I did that wrong. What did I do? Verse. Oh, no, I didn't, because that was the chorus twice. We did the chorus twice. That's why that's kind of long. Let me check my time again. 2 minutes, 30, 40 seconds. And we'll do that. We'll leave it in there like that. But what we're going to do, going into the second time, kind of change it up a little bit. Let's just drop it out. Let's just drop that out. So now let's take the 808 out, going into the second verse. Hi-hat 2. You know what? I actually think I want to do something different, because this loop is really not all the way for the verse. So we're going to do this. Let's take that out. Let's leave 2. And then change that back to bars. And let's just bring that on like that. And this one, we'll do it 4 times. And bring that on. Now the verse is actually the same as the chorus. You just got to make some transitions. So now we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is how we're gonna do that. I'm just so I know when the verse is coming back. So we're gonna do the same thing here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we did that right there. And that's how you mix a beat. That's how you mix a beat. That's how I mix a beat to get it sounding okay, good enough to put out there. You know, depending on what sounds you use, there's a lot more that you can do. A lot of EQing you can do, a lot of leveling you can do and whatnot, compression and whatnot to make it bump. But like I said, don't overdo it when you ain't even got the beat. So yeah, leave it for the mixing engineer to fix and make it sound like it needs to do. Look at it like this. You just baking the cake. You want to sell the cake like it is. You know what I'm saying? And then the mixing engineer, he going to put this icing on it that he like. You know what I'm saying? Don't put no icing on it. Then you got to take that icing off and put his own icing on. You don't want to do that. This your boy. Peace.